Starting now. Hello everyone and welcome to LGE Limitless Gaming Esports Limitless Formula Racing coverage for Tuesday Limitless 2 Racing. Today is Tuesday. We've got our Tuesday drivers getting themselves ready for their race that will be commencing in approximately around 10 minutes time. So I'm just going to go through the drivers lineup with you guys who will be viewing. Also, a thank you to you guys who will be joining this. Sorry about that. A thank you to you guys who will be joining this broadcast. It is much appreciated. So I will just go through the lineup of the drivers as I put my phone on mute. All right, so here we have the Mercedes AMG. So for this team, we have boosted WP007, who will be driving for Mercedes, as well as we have BKS93720. He is actually a reserve, so he will be filling in for Warren7878, who is unable to attend today's race. For our next team, we have the Red Bull. So their drivers are LGE Kingsholm, as well as LGE Flea 1996. So after Red Bull, we have the McLaren lineup, which comprises of Thibaut 7, sorry, 1 second. Thibaut 7. Sorry, I am missing one individual. 1 second. I just want to make sure that I get this completely sorted. So yeah, we have Thibaut 7, and I hope there's not an error that was made on this. So young one. Monster Blue. Oh, and sorry. So yeah, it's Lewis F1702. My apologies, I did not have that completely prepared. So for the McLaren team, it is Thibaut 7 and Lewis F1702. Following that team, we have the Aston Martin team, who is comprised of VV Phoenix VV, as well as Ryan Van Doom. Followed by them is the Alpine team, who is comprised of FRL Arise 1K, as well as Brandon U7. For the next team, we have Ferrari, who is comprised of Tommy XXC 1308, as well as Yo-Yo Yomio. For the AlphaTauri team, we have LGE Mr. Basil, as well as LGE Nemvidich 15. For the Alfa Romeo team, we have LGE Iggy Combo, as well as HBoz 17, or he goes by H Bosworth as well. For the Haas team, we actually have 2 reserves who are filling in for that team. So Monster Blue 909 will be driving for the Haas team, and he will be taking Atix's place, as well as Liam Esk, who will be taking the spot of, or for, their full-time driver, who is Diddy. And finally, we have the Williams team, who is comprised of Carl VD Berg 12 as well as harass underscore 18. As I will jump back into the lobby. So put myself on spectate. So today's race will be taking place at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, the Sao Paulo, Brazil circuit. And at this time, I would like to introduce my co-commentator who is going to be commentating with me on tonight's race. That would be Mr. Big Weir himself. Big Weir, how are you doing?
Hello! I am buzzing, but I'm just excited to be back. Still riding the high of last night, as I'm sure you are. It was such a great result, and I'm just excited. We're back on Tuesdays. I get to see my boy Barry, I get to see my boy Scotty, I get to see my boy, all the boys back in action. We're going to start the season all over again. How are you? How was your day? What did you have for dinner?
About half an hour ago, I ate a bag of chips, 2 pepperoni sticks, and 2 Eat More chocolate bars. I'm ready to go, man.
Nice. The man who doesn't sleep, the man who works night shift and then comes home and decides, you know what, who needs sleep? Let's race.
That's right.
So you're back in the lobby, yes? So we're almost good to go.
Yep.
So we're waiting on maybe one more boosted in. To see, but no, we're very, very excited. A lot of returning faces, a lot of new faces. Some people will recognise from last season, but there's a lot of new guys in, and the pace only seems to be getting quicker and quicker. So, yeah.
Yesterday was a testament to that, man.
Yeah, I'm still sweating. There's still a sweat stain on my chair from last night. But yeah, so we're just waiting on one more to get in. I'm not sure who it is, but I'm sure they'll be with us very, very shortly. How are you feeling, Cam? Are you excited or?
Oh yeah, I'm excited, especially after last week's preseason race in Australia. That was just the tip of the iceberg as to what's gonna happen for this season. So I am very excited for this race and this entire season.
Just a little taster.
Yep.
Let's see, I think we're just trying to get one more person in still. It should be starting very, very shortly. But guys, is anyone watching the stream yet? Anyone tuning in? Anyone want to leave a little comment? Mr. PR Oliver saying good evening. Hello Oliver, how are you? How's it going? Fill us in. What did you have for dinner? I want to know. No, seriously. Yes, but we have a couple of guys tuning in. We'll be good to go very shortly for this short qualifying. As we know, went on last season, we're planning to do a couple of sprint races as throughout the season. They're kind of more frequent. I think there was 3 last season. I think they're up to 5 this season from memory.
Yeah,
but
it's either 5 or
not
6
this week. Something like that anyway, but they're not happening this week. We're just doing the standard short qualifying with a 50% race, 36 laps of glory around hopefully, I'm hoping, the fingers are crossed here, the very sunny Brazil, but as we know, it can be a little bit, shall I say, bipolar. Yep.
It's not like Bahrain that we raced yesterday. There is a potential chance for rain or showers, some inclement weather, so
fingers crossed. I'd rather see a dry race start the season off. I think most people would. I think we're just about ready to go. We didn't manage to get that last person in. I'm not sure who it was, but we've got 19 drivers. Let's see what car's missing. Can I see it? It is...
Yeah, let me know which car is
missing. One of the Ferraris.
So there's Tommy.
Made it in.
So Tommy XXC 1308.
Okay. Well, we're one driver down, but nonetheless,
we're ready to go.
We're ready to go. Get a wee loading screen here. See a lovely little picture of the Senna S's, I'm sure. It's just a delightful track. I love Brazil. I love it. I missed last season's race in Brazil for our own league, but plenty of social races on it, and always presents as a good one. A good opener for the championship, and also a good close. But fortunately today, I think we're in for a bit of a treat.
Mm-hmm. So we are just on the countdown as we're about to head to Brazil for this short qualifying session. I'll just forward this question to you. What do you believe that the pole time is going to be for our drivers today?
That's a hard question. Maybe if someone's really quick, we could dip just into the 106s, but I'm expecting in around sort of mid to low 107s. Couple of guys to keep an eye out for today. I suppose Kingston being one of them. We know he's got a bit of pace. Dark Stomper, another one, has shown his pace in the past. He didn't really turn up much for season 2, but he seems keening up for it for season 3 here. Phoenix is also, he was a driver on Monday last season, but unfortunately had to take a break because of, I believe, a hand injury. I'm not asking what he was doing, but you know, he had a hand injury. So he missed out quite a bit. A couple of guys just in the comments, we've got harassed one of the racers who's saying good morning because he's from New Zealand. So probably, what, about 4 a.m. there? We'll say about 4 a.m.
Yeah, 4 or 5, I'm assuming.
And Phoenix is also in here saying, of course I am. Of course he's watching. He loves a bit of it. A bit of a stream. He loves it. But yeah, looks like it's dry. I'm going to ask the driver, see if someone can give me an update. Shoulder injury. Yeah. Shoulder. Phoenix has cleared it up. It was a shoulder injury. Not a hand injury. Which is, I suppose, slightly more questionable than what the hand injury. But we'll not get into it. So I'm just going to ask and see if can get a weather update. Nobody's complaining so far about any rain, so I suppose that's a good sign.
Yep. And right now, so the first on track is BKS 93720 for Mercedes AMG, as he took a little bit of a run into the wall as he was making his way out of the pits.
Who was that? The one of the
BKS 93720.
Sweet.
Now he's just getting up to speed as he is the first man out for his outlap. So we are riding
an update. We update. We sneaky update.
All right.
So apparently there's a 23% chance of rain for the race. So unlikely, but possible.
Yeah. Okay. That's some
Very
good information.
Possible. Fingers crossed. I'd rather dry race and make it interesting. Or even changeable conditions. It could take that out, you know, to be fair. It could be a bit saucy.
Just not an outright downpour. That's not as exciting as a dry race can be with the DRS and all of that jazz. So we are riding on board with BKS 93720, who is just about to cross the start finish line, and he is now on his lap, currently on the soft tires, as he heads for the DRS marker. DRS wide open, sets purple as he is the first on track, but that does go away relatively quickly as either his teammate, or I believe it's a Red Bull that's behind his teammate, would have pipped him for that Sector 1 fastest time. So we will continue to ride on board with him for this first lap of the qualifying session, as there are yellow flags, and that may have been a car that was getting out of the way. I believe that was an Alpine. As BKS
is coming up the line. I just seen that he's on purple sector 2, but we would expect that. It's into the first one. It takes a tight line towards the finish line, and it's a 108.1. So first off, hitting the lap slow. Kingsholm's just behind in the mediums on a 108.3. You know what, Cam? I think we could see a 106.
Potentially, yeah.
There
Especially
it is.
after. Oh, we're in the 107s. We're in the 107s as Carl Wiedeberg of Williams has clocked a 107.675 for his first qualifying lap on the softs. Some of these times are starting to come in as Dark Stomper behind him with a 107.990, and he was on the medium tires. On the medium tires.
That's one to watch, definitely. That I think on the softs he would be. I think roughly the rough deficit of the mediums here is about 8 or 9 tenths compared to the soft. The track is quite short, it's quite a quick lap, which of course means you have to drag it out a bit with yellow flag sector 2. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm watching
Boosted
here
as
in his
well.
lap. Boosted at the moment on the exit
of I think he
turn 10.
He may have crashed out. Let's see if we can get an onboard.
One of McLaren's looks like it's going slow there too. I'm not sure who that is.
So it might be Phoenix. So I'm on board with Phoenix right now as he is about to pass the instant, and just parked on the outside of the track, well, on the circuit, but on the left side of the track was boosted. So he's crashed out and he is out of this session.
He's going to have a bit of work to do. He's going to have a lot of work to do. Boosted, we'll have to admit, during the off-season we've done quite a few social races. The man's pace seems to have come along nicely from what I've seen. Was during a couple of social races running quite comfortably in the top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if he started to come through the field a bit. Of course he has the advantage of the free tyre choice as well. Anyone else on their laps? The couple, so mostly on their in laps.
There's 2 on their out laps, which is Liam Maskas. He has crashed out as well.
Same corner.
Just before. So Liam Eskin, the Haas, is
gonna have a bit of work to do, Liam. Gonna have a bit of work to do.
He has joined Boosted at the back of the grid, as I'm currently riding on board with Nembidic 15, who is just about to start his first flying lap.
Now, we both know this man has put a lot of practicing. Not to put the pressure on him, not to hype him up. You know, I think he's going to be one to watch today. I mean, we were doing the practice session just before this. Man pumped 30 laps in. 30 laps in an hour. Like, that's just nuts times, but he's going to see what he can do today. I think we're sort of expecting in around, hopefully, a 107 from him. I know he's got the pace for it. Carl Vanderberg comes out of the pits. But he gets out of the way comfortably. He comes in around turn 4, not a bad line.
Yep. And purple sector 1.
That's a good sign.
That's right.
Hopefully.
The practice is paying off right now.
Hopefully. Well, I'm afraid of the commentator's curse kicking in, but I always seem to do that. So I'm just gonna pray. He comes out of turn 9, nice. Doesn't have nothing out of shape. The back end stays quite steady. Coming into the last few corners now as he comes towards the line for sector 3. Around this last corner, hits the apex nicely. It's a decent exit as he comes onto the back straight now. Come on, Scotty. Come on, Scotty. I want to see a 107. I told you I wanted a 107. I'm putting the pressure on now. I want to see it. 106, 107. It's going to be a 108, I think. 108.6. Puts on P11.
So P11 for Nembidic in the AlphaTauri, as we will see if anyone else is on a lap, as Carl Wiedeberg is on a lap right now, as well as Yo-Yo. So I am actually going to ride on board with Yo-Yo right now, as he's currently in sector 2, and I believe that is Carl that's driving right behind him. In the Alpine, it's either Carl
or Dark Stomper, maybe? No,
or Dark Stomper, yeah. It's one of the Alpines. So yeah, I think Carl is behind the driver who is behind Yo-Yo. But we're riding on board with Yo-Yo as he has just entered Sector 3 and DRS wide open. Or DRS is not wide open. Now he's put the DRS... Oh, and he has ducked into the pits. So
Carl, suppose he's coming up the back straight now.
Yeah,
is he improving? Oh, he's on in lap 2. He just decided, nope, not today. See you later. I'll see you next time.
So right now I'm actually going to ride on board with FRL Arise. So that's who was behind Yo-Yo. So,
Mr. Basil's had a spin at turn 1. Took the front wing off. But he's okay. He's okay. Barry, come on. Don't scare me like that. Don't, come on. Ooh, Mr. Basil, yeah, you can do it. You can, yeah.
As Thibble Boy with a 107.541 is now currently sitting on provisional pole position.
I think that's going to be a top time, to be honest. What I'm trying to work out is, though, you know, I'm trying to get in Dark Stomper's head here, Brandon, in the Alpine. He's sitting P3 at the moment on those mediums. What is quite a top time. I say on the softs he'd be looking at pole. But does he want to go for the different tyre strategy? Carl Vanderberg comes out on the mediums as well. Is the medium the better tyre to start on here? Soft medium can be done. It's a stretch. You know, you're talking about 16 laps in the softs, 20 in the mediums. It's a big stretch. But the hard tyres around here are so much slower. It's, I suppose, a case of working out, is it worth it at the end of the day? But it seems that Dark Stomper's still sitting in the pits. I suppose he might come out at the end and see what he can do. If he feels he's happy enough, he could always back out and hope for the best. Mr. Basil's come back into the pits after that spin. A lot of boys in their out laps. I think there's some as they come across the line now, maybe.
I'm actually currently on board with the 8th
Monster
place position.
Blue.
Oh my goodness! 107.049 by Monster Blue.
We're going to see the 106s very, very soon. And it's only halfway through the session at the moment. And it's starting
my
to heat
goodness.
Up. Kingsholm's on a lap.
Yeah, I'm on board with him right now as he set a purple sector too, so he is about to
7-10 down at the minute. He's looking
open up the DRS. Let's see where he finishes.
P2.
You are correct. You're correct. It's P2 for LGE Kingsholm 94 with a 107.380. A very good lap by Kingsholm, as I believe Phoenix just finished a lap and jumped to P5, I believe I saw there, but he is currently, it seems like he's on a push lap right now, so I am riding on board with him, but I'll see if there is anyone else who is on.
Just looking, Flea's coming up from the line now. He doesn't take a tight line as he maybe should have, but we'll see what he can do.
P8.
P8.
So it's a P.
Gee, I went Canadian there. Did you hear that? Whoa!
So it's a 108.049 for Flea 1996. Let's see if anybody else is on the lap. Lewis F1702 is currently on the lap as he's being held up by Phoenix in the Aston Martin. That may cost him a little bit of time.
I think he's going to be too happy. We've got a yellow flag in there, except the last corner. It's one of the Alpines. I'm not sure which. I think it's...
Yeah, it was Carl. I think it was Carl. Yeah, it was Carl.
Too many blue cars. Too many blue cars.
Honestly. So riding on board with Lewis, he has jumped up to P5 with a 107.684.
It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
Yes, it is.
Just look at the split here, actually. Where are we here? Hang on, the interval to get it up. Can we get it up in qualifying? I don't think I can.
H. Bosworth is just opening up his DRS. I think I saw he was about 5/10 up on his lap that he has set, and he has jumped up to P8 with a 107.855, and that's his second lap on those set of soft tires.
So there's more time there too. Just looking at the splits between the leader, the gap between these guys is almost as small as it was yesterday, if not smaller. You know, between P1 to P14, it's about a second and a half. And then Vidic is just sitting on the outside. Harass and Mr. Basil haven't yet put a lap in. Harass has just come out of the pits there in the medium, so I think he's going for the alternate strategy today. Mr. Basil is on a lap, so we'll find out very shortly where he's coming on board. Because into the last corner, well, not the last corner, but first corner of sector 3 anyway, onto the exit. He needs to take a tight line as he goes towards the start finish line. It's looking a little bit Oh, it's going to be close enough, I think. It's a 108 something, I think.
108.
108.4.
Yep,
So another
P14
one
for
in
Mr. Basel.
second and a half deficit. Like, literally, if these guys can find a tenth anywhere they could jump. Well, look at the guys in P4, 5, 6. They're all within the same tenth.
Yep.
That's close. But at the minute, Monster Blue, the reigning king, Dark Stomper, I'd say he's done a lap, I was going to say, and he's about to cross the line, may I say it? Oh, maybe it was an outlap. Never mind. He's on his lap now on the soft, so he put that ridiculous lap time in on the medium, so I'll be expecting him to jump right up the board here.
I was just on board with Harass, but he has ducked out of his flying lap that he was on the medium tires. I'm currently on board with Thibbo Boy in third place. He was 400th down on the time he has set. Now 2/10 down on the time he has set. Yep, P2 it's looking like. Has yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. It's one of the Alpines, I believe. Not sure which one. Thibbo Boy
takes P2 from Kingston.
P2 for Thibbo Boy. That is a 107.282 for the McLaren driver.
This is getting saucy. We've got a second and a half split for most of the field. I think Nemvedic will likely see him on track again. He's just literally 3/10, and he's going to jump positions. His teammate, Mr. Basel, just 2/10 faster than him. And I believe from the practice he was lapping faster than Barry. Must have moaned this out because I'm Barry's #1 fan, but also a Scotty fan. So it's a win-win, really. Most of the guys likely on their in-laps. I'll be expecting a couple to come out very soon for the tail end of the session. The track's going to get very busy. These times I have a feeling they're going to chop and change a bit more yet.
Yep, so BKS 93720, I was riding on board with him. He actually cut 3/10 out of his time to set a 107.861 to go 9th.
I was on board with Dark Stomper whenever he was on his lap. He had a purple sector 1, but on the exit at turn 4 ran just wide and ended up invalidating his lap. So he's going to have to go again. I'll assume to see him on his way out shortly if he's not already. He may as well. He's in P11 with medium, so we know he's got more in the tank, but it's a 9-second gap to pole position. But of course, he's done that lap on the mediums. Yellow flag sector 1. I think someone's
I think it's just a slowing car that was slowing down. Currently on board with Iggy Combo, who's currently sitting in P15. He's just in the midst of sector 2.
Again, was out lap, is he? Or he's on in lap, maybe?
A snap of oversteer for him coming out of that right-hander, and it seems he has backed out. So I'm now...
More yellow flags. There's a yellow flag in sector 3, and that's a stopped car.
Ooh! I'm on board with... No, that wouldn't make sense because it showed in sector 3 for that purple sector for Harass. But I'm on board with Harass 18, who is currently sitting in 18. Let's see what he can do as he is in the midst of sector 2 going into this right-hander. Could have taken it a little more tighter, but not too bad. He comes around the heavy braking zone as he is about to open his DRS. DRS wide open. Let's see what time Harass 18 can set. It is a... Whoo! He jumps to P4 with a 107.557.
It's not over yet. We'll see a couple of these times. This is going to chop and change like crazy. It's next to nothing between these guys. There's more guys coming across the line now. There's the 106.
A 106! We got the 106! It's a 106.886 for Monster Blue in the Haas.
I think Kingsholm's going to try and go again.
Yep, I'm on board with him right now.
A couple of guys, one of the Aston Martin just coming up to the line. Ryan Van Doom, does he improve?
He does. Jumps to P10. 107.852 for Ryan Van Doom. As there's a blue car that is About to
be
finish.
confirmed. Carl van den Berg jumps to P3, knocking Kingsholm off the top 3. Very little between them, but Kingsholm's still on a lap. One of the Ferraris comes up to the line. Is it Yo-Yo?
Yes.
Doesn't seem improves very, very marginally, but
slightly.
Keeps himself in P12.
Yep.
This is nuts. There's an invalidation there. Flea's invalidated his lap, so he will be staying P14.
So on board with Kingsholm, and he has set a purple sector too.
Is it going to go?
And the slipstream! And the slipstream from his teammate! Let's see what happens here!
Been working. Is it enough? Is it enough? It's in
G2,
no, is it?
Almost
it's
a 106. A 107.180 for Kingsholm P2. Teamwork makes the dream work!
H-Boss is the last car across the line. Will he improve in his time? No, he hasn't. He's
back out.
So there's our grid. And look at it, Cam. I don't know if you've got the intervals up, but it's literally 1.8 seconds between the whole field.
Yep.
It's nothing. Like the room for error here is marginal, just like it was yesterday. It seems like we've done a decent job of matching these drivers up, because this is crazy.
Yep. This is quite amazing. As we just have to wait for Monster Blue to finish pitting, and then we will be heading to the race as he has entered the pits. And I will just go through all of the drivers. So it is Monster Blue 909 of the Haas with a 106.886. He takes pole position. Second place is LGE Kingsholm in the Red Bull. Thibbo Boy 7 in P3. Carl VD Berg 12 P4. Harass 18 P5. Lewis F1702 P6. Phoenix P7. H Bosworth 8th place. FRL Arise 9th. Ryan Van Doom 10th. BKS 11. Yo-Yo in 12th, Dark Stomper in 13th, that's a bit surprising. Flea in 14th, Iggy Combo 15th, Mr. Basil 16th, Nem Vidic 17th, Liam Esk, and Boosted, who did not set times in 18th and 19th, respectively. Are you ready?
So, just reading down YouTube comments here, we've missed it, in all that excitement, I've missed a little bit. Mr. Barry is wishing us all good luck. Good luck to everyone racing, good luck to us, of course, because God knows what's going to happen in the next race. And it's normally carnage at Brazil. Flea, 1986, has said, Mon the Honda Par. Oh, sorry, I'll try and do it in a Scottish accent, because, you know, the big Scots. Mon the Honda... Oh, God, no, we're not going to go there. So, he's feeling the Honda Par, although he didn't feel it much in qualifying. Taylor McKenzie said he was hoping to get a join, but he was just running late, so he's missed out, unfortunately. Jamie is saying, "So watch your eyes, in capital letters. So we'll get some more eyes action in the middle of the race, I'm sure. Now, Cam, one thing I'm just going to point out here: bit of grey clouds there. It's not as bright as what it was in qualifying. So you know, that 25%. Definitely could become a factor here. A little bit of drizzle. It could be I think it was Brazil 2008 when that, you know, what's the word? Most memeable moment of Formula One is that Glock. Could we see it here?
Whoever the meteorologist is, they may be fired.
So, here we go, formation lap, that's it, all the drivers get away, boosted at the back, he's gonna sort of keep the pack propped up for the moment. The two AlphaTauris lining up side by side there, I believe, no, they're not, one behind each other at the moment. They've opted for the medium tyres, I believe. I see most of the guys have opted for the medium tyres outside the top 10, apart from BKS and Liam. Liam's gonna hope to charge his way through the field, try and pick up some positions early and try and hug the back of that top 10 pack by the signs, but yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be a bit of a mad one. You know, the qualifying's been close enough already. Yesterday when we were racing, we just seen train after train and it was just nuts. I needed 2 showers, I needed counselling, I need some level of emotional support after that race. and it looks like today is going to be something similar. I suppose one thing I haven't talked about yet is that legendary rivalry. They'll know what I'm talking about, between the teammates of H. Bosworth and Iggy Combo. Back again in the Alfa Romeo. Those guys always giving each other stick. I'll say that. I think that's a polite way to put it in the chat. It looks like this time Iggy's losing out to H. Bosworth here. There'll be some abuse in the chat, I'm sure, later. But they're coming up to the line now. Most of the guys are lining up. The Ferrari of Yo-Yo seems to be backing up quite a bit. But the tyres don't cool, as we know, on the approach to the line, or whenever you're sitting on the start-finish line. So, I'm getting excited. Let's go.
We're about to get started. We are about to get started. As we just have to wait for the grid to form, as Boosted has entered his spot in P19, as we are about to start. It's 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go, as there's a jump start penalty for Liam Hess.
For Liam. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. No one else got caught out by that, but they seem to be quite civilised. Maybe through turn 1. Is anyone around? Oh, it's all very civil.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. As Monster Blue with a very good start in P1, as Thibble Boy, I think, has overtaken King's Home.
Yeah, and Lewis is again 2 positions off the start there as well. Flea up 3 from his starting grid. It's all been very respectable so far. I'm liking this. Liam, that's gonna hurt Liam a lot. That drive through. So he's gonna be hoping for a safety car with yellow flag sector 2.
And it's blue Flea.
Oh, after that I jinxed him. I've done it again. What have I done? After that amazing start, he's spun the back end. Doesn't look like there's any damage, so hopefully he'll be able to recover from that. So let's see, Liam. Does Liam decide to peel into the pits on this lap or not? The service drive through, or is he going to just try and stick with the pack?
I'm assuming he's going to try and stay out. Possible. Let us see some of the close gaps as Dark Stomper.
And he's gone!
And Liam Hess gets out. End. And it is a virtual safety car.
Still, that's going to do some favours. Mr. Basil.
Yep, Mr. Basil's in the pits. Yep, Mr. Basil has entered the pit, so it's currently a virtual safety car as we are just commencing lap 2 of this 36-lap race in Brazil. Currently riding on board with Monster Blue, who is sitting in first place with LGE King's Home 94, about half a second behind them under these virtual safety car conditions.
That's going to be devastating for Liam. That was his first race with ourselves tonight. Only a reserve, but I think he's keen to try and get himself a full-time seat. I was on board with him when it happened. I think he had the overtake on when he was sitting behind Iggy. Dirty Airs caught him out and he's lost the back end, unfortunately. So a bit of a devastating debut for Liam, but I suppose the way to look at it is the only way is up, and hope for the best.
We've got green flags, and the race is back on, as I will ride on board with Thibble Boy, as he is relatively close to King's Home, although I don't think he'll get him into turn 1, as I will Ryan Van Doom and Phoenix, both teammates are quite close to each other going into this turn 1. Phoenix sitting in 7th place and Ryan Van Doom currently sitting in 8th position. As, King's Home! It's a fight between Monster Blue and King's Home. They are side by side and they touch! They touch. Luckily, no one has lost it, as Monster Blue does get himself back into P1.
He's looking to pick up the pieces.
And he does. Well, King's Home does have the inside line. And a bit of contact there. As Thibble Boy makes his way through into P2, and he'll be looking to hunt down Monster Blue, who seems to be making his way away from this pack of cars behind them.
Just looking down the order too. I suppose we've got Jamie. Jamie's asking for our eyes footage. Let's get our eyes on the screen. He's got DRS open, trying to catch up to that Aston Martin in front of Ryan Van Doom. Hasn't gained any positions at the start. Hasn't lost.
And
still on the points.
BKS has just overtaken Yo-Yo just before going into turn 1 of this lap 4, as there's another oh no, it's side by side between H. Bosworth and Arise. Arise
him wide.
Squeeze, and he helped his teammate out as Dark Stomper has now overtaken H. Bosworth. So some teamwork there by the two Alpine drivers, as Phoenix gets himself a 3-second time penalty.
This is shaping up to be something similar to what we seen yesterday, just a massive train of cars, all just trying to capitalise on each other's mistakes. Most of the field in DRS range everywhere. Pretty much everyone in the top 10 Arise just out of it now. Within DRS range. BKS has got Ryan H. Bosworth again there, jockeying for position.
Yep.
Harry not getting the best start at the moment.
Oh, Lewis and Carl Wiedeberg are side by side going into turn 1, as Lewis just not able to get ahead of Carl Wiedeberg. But DRS wide open for, actually both cars have DRS.
H. Bosworth managed to claim that position back, by the way, in P11. The Alpines have also swapped
Positions, yep. As Dark Stomper is now in P9, and he is on the medium tires compared to his teammate who is on the soft, so that is going to be interesting to see how far up Dark Stomper can make his way on the harder compound tires of those mediums. So let us see what is happening. I'm currently on board with, it looks like King's Home is going to be, he's quite close to Thibble Boy, as he is going to have DRS, and he is about 3/10 away from Thibble Boy ahead of him. Let us see, cannot make a move into turn 1. He gets a relatively good exit, which, relatively good. See what he can do, as also Thibble Boy is catching up to Monster Blue. Will he get him into that turn? No, he will not, as he's going to have to tuck in behind Monster Blue in the Haas, as it is a 3-second penalty for Lewis F1702 in 5th place in the McLaren. Let me see if I can get the tires at the interval there. So currently riding on board with King's Home, who is in 3rd place, and he is staying relatively close to Thibble Boy ahead of him. It's going to be DRS wide open for King's Home, as he
I'd be expecting a move here.
Is he too far back? Yep, just a little bit too far back for King's Home.
Looking at the batteries though, King's Home's still pushing a lot more to try and keep up with Thibble Boy. He's 60% of his battery left. King's Home's using a lot more than Thibble Boy to try and keep up with those guys. This train at the front looks like it's gonna be a long one.
So there's an overtake that has taken place between, so BKS has moved up to P11, as he has overtaken H. Bosworth in the Alfa Romeo, who is now currently sitting in P12. That's a lot of curb that BKS 93720 is taking on all of these turns, actually.
Oh, Mr. Basil, no.
Mr. Basil.
Don't do this to me, Barry. My poor wee heart can't take it. Suppose looking at the back of the field, Flea after that spin at the start, starting to come on to the back of Nembittage again. He's going to want to push. Scotty up, I think is that 4 positions at the moment. From memory, 3 positions, 4. I can't find the thing. There it is. He's up 2 at the minute. from the start, but he's on those medium tyres. He's going to want to try and go deep into this race.
Riding on
Mr.
board.
Basilix, he's clawed back a bit of time from the back of the field also. Flee off the track, but fine, I think. I don't know what that was. But
yeah, so I'm riding. Oh, and there was an overtake that I just missed with Lewis overtaking Lewis F1702 in the McLaren overtaking Carl Wiedeberg 12, who is in the Williams, as it's a 3-second penalty for Thibble Boy in P2, as well as Nem Vidic.
That
So
could prove crucial late in the race for Thibble. Towards the end of the race, if this train just keeps going the whole time, those 3-second penalties could mean the difference between 5 positions easily.
So I'm riding on board.
Makes a mistake.
Riding on board with Dark Stomper, as he is going to get DRS off of Ryan Van Doom, and Ryan Van Doom will not be getting DRS off of his teammate ahead of him, so this should be a relatively easy overtake as Ryan Van Doom actually ducks into the pits. So, ooh, and FRL Arise, his teammate, Dark Stomper's teammate, is actually right behind him. So it's P8 and P9 for both Alpine drivers, as H. Bosworth gets himself a 3-second penalty, and he is currently sitting in P11.
Keep an eye on this fight in P4 and 5. Lewis and Karl Vandenberg are trading places every single lap at the minute. Neither one of them wants to be following the other. It seems to be a move into turn 4 most laps, sort of an overtake at the start-finish, and an overtake into turn 4 every lap at the minute, which is going to hold them up and allow Kingsholm a bit of breathing room, and already the gap's at around 3 seconds, so those three at the front breaking away from the pack at the moment.
And we also can't rule out Harass, who's behind both the P4 and P5 drivers. He is one place down from the position that he started, but he's very close to Lewis F1 at this point, as he is now looking to the left as well as Lewis, and it's side by side between Carl Wiedeberg and Lewis. I'm on board with Harass, so I have a very good vantage point of what is going on up ahead.
3 wide. Oh no!
Oh,
no!
What is going to happen here? And, okay, respectable driving there, but Harass.
Contact.
And Harass!
Did Harass hit the wall? Is Harass on the wall?
Yep, he hit the, and I think he has damage as well.
Yeah, he's missing his end plate in his front wing. That's gonna hurt. The first bit of action, he's struggling to get that car turned. He's going to be limping back to the pits.
That's unfortunate.
I'm expecting him to pit for Hards and just pray for a safety car. With that wing damage, he needs to get in ASAP. To what's going on with the guys at the front? Monster Blue's starting to open a bit of a gap. He's broke the DRS of Thibble Boy, which will make him slightly more vulnerable to Kingsholm behind. Oh, is he? Kingsholm peels into the pits.
Yep.
He's going for the undercut, and he serves
and
a
a
penalty for the pit
5-second
lane.
penalty. No!
Oh, he done it, and then he what have you done? What have you done? He's fitting the mediums. He's going for a long stint in these mediums. That 5-second penalty is going to hurt him in the long run. He'll be kicking himself for that one, I'm sure. And another drive into the pits is Harass, of course, but we were expecting that. We'll see what tires he was on to. Fits the mediums. Another long stint for the mediums.
I'm actually currently on board with Flea, as he has he's made an overtake on his fellow admin teammate Nem Vidic in the AlphaTauri.
Right, they're both in similar sort of age of tires. Nem Vidic for that penalty, unfortunately, for the corner cutting. It's 3 seconds at the minute, but he doesn't want to hit that creeping up. Phoenix and Yo-Yo, the only 2 on 6 at the moment, and then Kingsholm, as we've just seen, got that 5 seconds for the pit lane entry. He'll be kicking himself, I'm sure. See if Monster and Thibble decide, no, they did not. They're going to keep going along. They're going to want those fresher tyres towards the end of the race. If it's for me, I would be trying to get the lap 16 out of those softs at least. Drag those mediums, or make that stint in those mediums a lot better than what it was. Stibble's managed to get back within Monster's DRS, trying to get a bit of a tow along. as well. But
Phoenix with the overtake on Carl Wiedeberg. These were the two you were just talking about a second ago, right?
yeah.
And here they go again as Carl Wiedeberg has overtaken Phoenix again. And a 3-second penalty for Phoenix for track limit warnings.
It's only lap 12. He needs to watch himself, because if those rack up, he's going to be out of the points for sure. I was just thinking, it was actually Carl Wiedeberg and Lewis that were overtaking each other earlier. I'm assuming. Cars got held up trying to fight Phoenix, allowing Lewis to get a bit of breathing room in front, but he's going to want that because obviously he's got a penalty and Carl does not. So Monster and Thibault still going long.
Phoenix goes into the pits.
Phoenix dives in.
Yeah.
Arise then promoted to P6. The three Alpine drivers doing a very respectable job here at the moment.
Yeah.
5 and 6 on the road, but of course they still have to do a pit stop. But let's have a look at tyres, I suppose, and see what they're on. Dark Stomper, he'd be going for a long time yet. Arise should be expecting him within the next couple of laps, really. Yo-Yo and H-Boss battling it out down there. It was getting a bit hairy there. Harry was off the track, but comes back on safely enough.
So I'm currently on board with Yo-Yo in P8, and he is looking to try and overtake H. Bosworth. They're both on the same amount of laps on their tires. However, Yo-Yo is on the mediums and H. Bosworth is on the softs. So
Thibble Boy's into the pits. He's pulled the trigger. Suppose we could keep an eye on Kingsholm and see where he comes out. Thibble's opting for the hard tire to the end. Interesting. Suppose what you wonder then is Kingsholm going for the 2-stop, hoping for that late safety car, but I think he's going to jump Thibble Boy quite comfortably, but he's getting held up by Yo-Yo and Iggy, or Yo-Yo and H-Boss at the minute. Isn't doing them any favours.
Kingsholm he just made an overtake on H. Bosworth, so Kingsholm is going to be fast, and he has made another overtake now on Yo-Yo in the Ferrari, so Kingsholm currently sitting in P5.
No, I'm thinking we need to keep an eye on Monster Blue. Is he going to pull the trigger, or is he going to try and opt for those fresher tyres at the end of the race? It has felt like he's got that little bit more pace in the pocket than the two that were sitting behind him. So maybe he thinks... Chambers will follow this, but maybe he thinks he can go long and make up that time on the fresher tyres later, which he does. 14 yellow flag sector 1, is it Mr. Basil?
And he's out.
He's out.
It's a safety car. And Dark Stomper just missed being able to go into the pits, as I believe it was Carl Wiedeberg who was ahead of him.
Kingsholm's peeled in also. He's going to serve that 5-second penalty. That's going to help him. That's exactly what he wanted.
This is going to get interesting.
He's going to drop a couple of positions, I'd say. Most of the drivers are going to peel in here, surely. Flea's into the pits. They're going to double stack the Red Bulls, but Lee's going to get held up behind Kingsholm because he had that penalty. It's not a bad hold. Lee's going on to the softs, interestingly. Sure, he's hoping for maybe another safety car.
Oh my God.
For the softs.
Wait, Jason. So Dark Stomper was actually able to overtake the safety car, so he's actually not going to lose out on missing.
They've both missed the safety car, so this... There we say, Kingsholm's come out in P10. Maybe he won't be as happy, but at least he's got rid of that penalty from earlier. Then Vidic has come in. He's put on the hard tyres. It's kind of a mixed tyre compound across the grid, to be honest. Hard to know what the best strategy is at this moment. I think I would have met the mediums personally, but it would have been a long stretch to the end. But I suppose I did say I wanted 16 laps out of the softs, so under the safety car it might as well be. But we'll see. Monster's pit. Assuming he's going for the mediums. It's my best bet. Yeah, he has. Dark Stomper stayed out.
Wait a minute.
Not sure what sort of a call that is, to be honest, but he's opted to stay out. He's maybe going to hope for a second safety car. But Yeah,
Why?
Leading the pack. Iggy's stayed out. He wanted track position. He wanted the screen time. Iggy, I know you, man. Iggy, I know you, man. That's all, Iggy. Yeah. Can we spend the next 5 minutes of the safety car talking about how Iggy's ahead of H. Bosworth? Because I'm sure he'd love that. But yeah, those two guys opting to stay out, the only two not to have pit, according to my radar. Lewis F1 has also opted for the hard tyres there in P4. Kingsholm has given himself a bit of a headache. He's still got Thibbleboy ahead of him. I think he had jumped Thibbleboy, but because of that penalty he had to serve, he's had to concede that position in the pit lane. Flea's another interesting one to watch. He's opted for the soft tyres, hoping for a second safety car. I haven't seen two safety cars in a long time, but I mean it wouldn't be completely unheard of, I suppose, is what I should say.
Yeah, especially with the pack being bunched up like that, or like this, if there could potentially be incidents when this safety car comes in. But I'm just interested, what is Dark Stomper going to do? He's staying out.
He's going long. I'm not sure what his plan is here exactly. I feel like that's an error. I guess we'll find out. Where's our eyes ended up? Because once again I'm being asked to watch our eyes. Our eyes down there at P16. I suppose actually now's a good time to look at the position changes. Let's see who's winning and who's losing in the position changes at the minute.
Yep. Jeez. So 12
Very
positions for both Dark Stomper and Iggy, although they still do need to pit. Yeah.
Biggest losers at the minute are in fact Arise. Ryan Van Dam even harasses down there. Kingsholm's lost out 8 positions, all from that pit lane speeding penalty from earlier. It really shows how such a small error can be so costly. But I'd say him and Thibbleboy want to charge through the field and maximise.
Go on board with Kingsholm. He's started he's his own safety car right now. Go on board with him.
He's doing that old trick where you catch the safety car right at the end of nice warm tyres. Bit of a dirty tactic, but technically not a rule against it as long as he's not completely backing up the pack and extending the length of the safety car. He'll not get penalised for it. Dirty tactics, but like I said, he probably watch for a move on Thibbleboy into turn 1 is all I'm going to say. There it is. So he hasn't held up the safety car coming in. We'd be ready for this to go. He's lovely warm tyres. He's wiggling around because he's all happy with himself. God love him, he's an angel. Trigger hasn't been pulled yet by Dark Stomper. I would keep an eye on turn 1 here for Kingsholm making a move on Thibbleboy. Maybe even H. Bosworth for those warmer tyres.
Here we go.
Going very late. There it is, and he's got the jump on Thibbleboy. This is going to be a move.
But Iggy is trying to make a move on Monster, but with those old tyres, he's not going to make it happen. As Carl Wiedeberg actually
that was a move.
Overtakes Lewis F1 to go up into P4. And Yo-Yo and Phoenix are side by side going into this turn, and Yo-Yo yields ever so slightly, but he gets a better exit than Phoenix, and they're still side by side as we have yellow flags in sector 2, and it's Arise.
And Ryan Van Dam have had a bit of contact. Arise is no front wing. 5-second penalty for a severe collision. I would expect that one on the incidents later. But back to the front where all the madness is happening. There's an H. Bosworth dying to get round Yo-Yo at the minute, side by side with one of the McLarens. Thibbleboy, he wants to get up the road too. Arise gets another penalty for the contact.
What happened? Kingsholm is around.
He's not doing himself any favours. I'm not sure if there was contact with another driver, but that's going to hurt for a guy who was almost a sure bet for a podium today. Getting kicked in the teeth quite frequently here at the moment. So I have to give credit to Dark Stomper here. I thought he would have conceded the position to Monster Blue already, but clearly not, because I'm expecting him in sort of any lap now for fresh tyres. Iggy's starting to pull away from that pack with yellow flag sector 3. Is someone retired? Arise has retired.
And he takes it.
He doesn't feel up for trying to pull back that deficit he's got. Grand Van Doom does though. He's put the hards on, serving the penalty. Oh, sorry, not serving the penalty. He's repairing his front ring. I'm ready to go back at it.
Watch P6. Watch P6 right now. It's if you see all the cars behind P6 right now, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And Iggy's just laughing, man. Like, Iggy's pulling out a 5-second gap on these guys because they keep fighting each other. Maybe this was the right call.
Well, we'll see, as we're currently on lap 19 of this race, as Yo-Yo is out!
Could it be another safety car? I don't think so. I think it's too soon. I don't think the game will let it happen. I think it's too soon.
It's a virtual safety car.
Will it go full safety car? Because I wouldn't be surprised. That car is in an awkward place. Ran Van Doom's going to be praying for it. Big time.
I think just because no cars are going to pass through there, I don't think they will call a full course safety car. We will see relatively soon.
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't appear to be.
Yep, the car has been removed, so they should be getting the prompt, and yep, we are back underway as a move has been made. Oh. No, yeah, it looked like Monster Blue and Carl Wiedeberg switched positions, but I do not believe so. This is just impressive what Dark Stomper is doing right now. I don't understand how he's doing this.
If they arrest him, this is going to be a hard defense now.
Yep, Monster Blue.
He's going to have to break earlier than H. Bosworth because it's a 3-second time.
And Dark Stomper's around.
Oh, they're round.
And
I think Carl Vandenberg got collected there. He's got damage to the front wing. Iggy's up to P2. He's going to be up to P2. Come on, Iggy. Come on, Iggy.
And yep, that is P2 for Iggy in the Alfa Romeo. This is exciting stuff.
He just wants a screen time. He's definitely go on, Iggy. Come on, son.
Oh wow! And I just saw Boosted push Flea off of the track, just like where Verstappen and Hamilton were going at it in real life, and that has cost him
defense.
2 positions for Flea, as Lewis F1702 has got himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings.
A lot of penalties starting to rack up now. BKS has 11 seconds with the penalties. Flea letting Kingsholm through to try and claim back the positions he's lost. He is a 3-second time penalty now. I'm assuming not for track limits.
And Carl is dropping back. Oh yeah, he has the damage, right?
Carl has got the damage to the front wing. I'd expect him in this lap. As he peels off and comes in. He should go on the softs to the end of the race, surely. Thibble Boy has worked his way up the field quite well. He's back up in the P3. Of course, Iggy hasn't pit yet, so technically net P2, but with that 3-second time penalty. May come into play later in the race, but everyone behind him has quite a few penalties themselves at the moment.
Kingsholm is making a move on Boosted. Late braking, that was phenomenal. That was a work of art by Kingsholm with the late braking as he has moved himself into P9 ahead of Boosted. So we'll ride on board with BKS 93720, who's in 7th place, and he is staying relatively close to Lewis F1702 in 6th. And Harass.
Starting to settle, maybe. Oh, someone's off. Well, Boosted is completely cut. Whoa, I'm not sure what happened there, but he had to. And there's another car around. Nemvedic. Scotty, no. Scotty, no.
I may have just seen also a reset to track. As
I could get him in trouble. I could get him in some trouble.
As Harass.
There's another car around. Carl Vandenberg's out.
Yep. Did he crash out? Did he crash out, or he?
I'm not sure. There's a yellow flag in sector 2, but I'm not sure. Once again, there's too many blues I was talking about. It's gone now, so we'll not know for that. I'll know in a second when Ryan Van Doom passes it. Yeah, he drove on. He tried to fight that wing damage and it didn't work out for him.
That's unfortunate. So riding on board with Thibbo Boy, who is keeping relatively close to Iggy Combo as we have yellow flags in sector 2. Some Mercedes that's, I think, just going a bit slow. As King's Home is making his way very close to Lewis F1702 in the McLaren. One will have DRS.
He's finally pulled the trigger. He's coming to the pits. Don't speed into the pit lane, Iggy! Oh, that was close, man. As Bosworth reclaims.
King's Home makes an overtake on Lewis, as well as Harass follows him through and makes an overtake on Lewis F1702. So both the Red Bull and the Williams car are able to make up some places on the McLaren, going into 5th and 6th, respectively.
King's Home he can salvage a podium out of this with the penalties in front. I wouldn't be surprised. Dark Stomper sets a new fastest lap at the moment.
108.636 for Dark Stomper. It's the fastest lap. So yeah, this battle for P4 right now it's spicing up. It is spicing up as BKS currently sitting in P4 with King's Home right on his tail. And it will be
14 seconds of penalties though. He's going to drop down the field, but for track position anyway, King's Home needs to get him out of the way. It should make quite an easy move into turn 1 here with those fresher medium compound tyres. It's not much of a fight put up there by BKS. I think he's just driving quite conservatively, trying to limit the damage with those penalties at the moment.
Almost thought he was going to make him. Almost thought BKS was going to make that move. Almost.
He thought about it anyway. King's Home out of battery though. He's been pushing hard. Now he's got to chase after H. Bosworth in front, but H. Bosworth has 6 seconds of penalties, whereas King's Home only has 3. So at the minute he's net P3. I'm going to take that podium away from H. Bosworth at the minute, unless there's any more drama. We're only in lap 25, man.
Hey, it's been quick. This has gone by, man, very quickly.
So much has happened so far. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Harass is looking like he's going to line up a move by the way here. He should have another comfortable move on BKS here. Yeah, he's already around him with DRS.
So that is one position made up by Harass, and the Williams has moved himself up to P5.
He's one to watch. I'm just thinking he's no penalties. Watch him jump up the board. He's an outside chance of the podium here. Keep an eye on him as we go into the last 10 laps of the race. Been a bit nuts. Suppose just to run down the top order, I suppose Monster Blues pulled out a comfortable gap to Thibbo Boy in P2. Thibbo Boy coming back from the P9 he ended up in after the safety car. H. Bosworth P3, 6 seconds of penalties with King's Home just outside the DRS behind him. Dark Stompers managed to make a move in them village, as I say that. Harass in P5, no penalties on the board, just behind King's Home. If he can keep this gap, he's looking comfy for a potential podium here. BKS just behind him with 14 seconds of penalties, with Lewis F1 in P7. Iggy after that pit stop sitting in P8. The Alfa Romeo boys looking comfortable for a double points finish here at the moment, with Dark Stomper on those fresh softs sitting just behind. Nemvedic is ahead of Fleet, but Nemvedic has those 3 seconds of penalties. He can try and hold on for a points finish today. He's just on the outside of those points at the moment. But lap 27, 9 to go. I need a breath.
It's currently riding on board with LGE King's Home 94, who is in 4th place, and he is looking, actually, has H. Bosworth, he has pit, has he?
H. Bosworth should be going to the end, to my knowledge.
On his mediums, okay.
Yeah, he'd be going to the end.
Oh, no, it was his teammate Iggy who was running long.
Yeah. Iggy ran long. He's managed. It's actually worked out for him. He's come out in P8. He's up 7 positions. That, what I thought was a bad call, turned out to be pretty good for both those guys. Iggy and Dark Stomper, both on stress off to the end. Probably try and make a charge for what could be a P6, P7 finish, really, which isn't that bad considering their respective teammates are sitting P3 and P5 at the minute. King's Home trying to. Oh, there's going to be a move into turn 1. Maybe he's got the speed for it. Oh no, gotta wait till the second DRS straight, I think.
Should be a relatively easy move for him. Let us see as we're riding on board with King's Home. Will he be able to make this move?
Ducks into the slipstream. Reese Bosworth doesn't fight it too much. He's playing the long game here.
Yep, so that is one overtake for King's Home as he moves himself into P3 as Nemvidic gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. So the field has spread out quite a bit as I'm looking at Monster Blue, he's sitting comfortably in P1 right now with an 11-second lead over Thibble Boy in the McLaren. Take a look at the penalties.
Oh, we're going to see a move here at the back. Booster's going to try and defend from Ryan Van Doom, but Ryan doesn't manage to get it done. He's going to have to wait until the next DRS straight, I'd imagine. Oh, Monster Blue manages to get himself a penalty. Wanted to join the club. He's done it. Oh, here's me talking as if Ryan Van Doom's about to take boost, but it was actually Monster Blue lapping Ryan Van Doom. So completely ignore me, I'm talking rubbish.
So riding on... Oh, and we have yellow flags in Sector 2. That's Ryan Van Doom.
What that was. Looks like one of the Aston Martins. Must have been Ryan Van Doom. Must be getting out of the way. I'm not sure what happened. But I think he's going to be comfortably out of the points today. He's a lap down now in the leader. P10's, what, the half a lap up the road from him. He's pulling into the pits. Is he retiring? Is he trying for a fastest lap? There's a retirement. Think he's realised he's racing for nothing at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I had a bet on, I put this bet on earlier that there was going to be 13 people finish this race, and I'm liking my odds at the minute. I'll take that. Nope, there's a battle for P7, Iggy and Lewis. Iggy's going for moving Lewis up to P7, and he's got it done comfortably. Those fresh softs, so much better on those 14 lap old hards. I say fresh softs, his softs are 5 laps old at this point, but there should be a lot more pace in them than the hard tires behind him. Now, Iggy's actually on for a P6 finish at the moment with the amount of penalties that BKS has. He's pulled an absolute flyer. If I can get the thing up and see. Yeah,
so he's P6 right now. Can he catch Harass is the question. Because Harass is on very old, 18 lap old mediums. So we will see if Iggy, it's about a 11-second gap that he has to make up.
And around that anyway. Kingston's supposed to watch him. He's going to be trying to chase down Thibble Boy after they were fighting earlier in the race. There's only a 5-second gap at the minute. I'm not sure what the penalties are. Hang on to see. Both on 3. So an error from either could essentially take him out of it, right? Like, it could, another 3 seconds on the Thibble Boy's time means Kingston only has 2 to catch. He's going to want to be a little bit careful with what he's doing. Iggy though, or not Iggy, sorry, Harry though, H. Bosworth has managed to hold on nicely behind Kingsholm. I don't think he's going to break that gap to harass behind, so what could actually end up happening here is both Alfa Romeos end up finishing one behind each other. That'd be great for their little rivalry. They'll be happy with their points. Flea's managed to get moved on them, Vidic. Flea on those mutts. Well, he's on softs, and then Vidic on the hards. It was going to be a hard fight to put up to defend that position.
Currently on board with Dark Stomper, who seems to be closing in a bit on Lewis F1702. Will he get the DRS? Yes, he will. So let us see how much time Dark Stomper can make up on Lewis in the McLaren as they head into turn 1 and 2 and 3. And it will be DRS again for Dark Stomper in the Alpine as he is closing in on Lewis. Red light flashing for Lewis.
Nimbus gets another penalty. I don't think he's going to lose another position now. I think he's fairly cemented into that P9 at the minute, unless something. Or not P9, P11 at the minute. Dark Stomper and Lewis are battling side by side, and Lewis is off the track.
Yep, they touched.
Was not expecting a move to happen there, but Dark Stomper managed it.
After that slight spin by Dark Stomper, it might be a bit driving with a little bit of anger in his soul, as he has made up a position going into P8. As I will go on board with H. Bosworth, who he's doing a pretty good job of sticking with Kingsholm in P3.
Yeah, and I would say Horace is starting to get a little bit panicky. He's still on for that podium finish on his LFR debut. I'm not sure where he started in the grid to see if, he's made up. Well, he started P5 anyway, but he could end up finishing P3. If he can still maintain that gap to Kingsholm and keep it under 3 seconds, I think he's fairly cemented in P4. It's really just the gap to Kingsholm he needs to watch now. It's sitting in around 2.6, 2.7 seconds. So if he could get onto the back of H. Bosworth, that would be great for him.
So currently riding on board with H. Bosworth. As will he be able to stay within DRS range? Yes, I think he has. As it is DRS open for H. Bosworth. He is closing in on Kingsholm in the Red Bull ahead of him. Will not be able to make a move into turns 1 and 2. However, he will have another opportunity with the DRS wide open once again, but it looks like he's just a bit too far back from Kingsholm to make that move, and he'll have to slot behind Kingsholm.
He's got to hope Kingsholm makes another error, gets another penalty. I don't think he's going to overtake Kingsholm and pull a 3-second gap before the end of this race. Kingsholm more or less cementing himself into P3 at the minute, but Horace is just behind, and he's just outside that 3 seconds I was talking about last lap. So it's going to be close going towards the finish, but it looks like he gets a bit of a dodgy exit out of turn 10, I want to say. Turn 11, turn 10, something like that. I don't think it's going to drop. Yeah, he's dropping away from Kingsholm now. It's about 3.2 seconds to Kingsholm at the moment, but there's still 1 lap to go.
This race has flown by. This race has flown by.
Crazy. Just ridiculous. Pretty much action non-stop from start to finish. My bet's looking good for the 13 finishers. No one else is allowed to retire, please. Unless it's someone in the top 10. Push Scotty back up into the points. I've decided I'm going to be an AlphaTauri fan this season for Tuesday. I want to see them boys getting some points. They're always happy when they're into points. Then Vidic, Scotty's run a pretty tidy race today. Really, those penalties are the only thing holding them back, but finishing P11 in the first race of the season, it's not a bad way to start. It's looking good for the future.
So, as Monster Blue, so he is currently sitting in first place as he, and we have yellow flags. It's H. Bosworth.
Is he gonna finish ahead of H. Bosworth? He is. Oh, the controversy! The controversy! Oh, there's been a drama late in the race. He's gone from P6. This could change a lot. There could be a lot of change about to happen here.
Right.
At least penalties are going to come into play. Iggy's going to be P5, man. Iggy's going to be P5.
Wow.
Harass, he's out of it. Yeah, wait, hang on a minute. Someone's missing here. Oh, it's H. Bosworth. I just remembered.
Yeah, the
So
man that's
Harass.
mud.
Oh, Harass is going to... Yeah, he's going to end up in P4. H. Bosworth has essentially cost himself 3 or 4 positions there late in the race. Those tyres didn't hold out on him.
And bragging rights on his teammate.
Is right, and there it is. Monster Blue finishes the line. He's first in the Haas reserve driver for today, but definitely put up a stellar performance, showing off what he can do. Thibble Boy's coming up to the line now too. He's going to finish P2, and to round out the podium, unless Harass can pull some time back under the back straight, is Kingsholm in P3. So the top 3 still finished top 3. Thibble Boy managed to pip Kingsholm.
It's going to be interesting to see where BKS finishes. As he finished 5th, but he's dropped to 6th and dropped to 7th as Dark Stomper has moved into 6th place. As H. Bosworth, he finishes P8 and P9 respectively. Oh, and Flea
jumped
to P8.
He'll be happy with that. He's sitting sort of just outside those top 10 for most of this race, so he'll be very happy to get P8 out of this. And then Vittich comes in P11. Phoenix, one of my favourites for this race, to be honest, coming in P12, and Boosted rounds out the finishers anyway. And by the way, Ken, 13 finishers in the bank. Money. Somebody pay me. I called it. It happened. Somebody pay me. Wow.
Our driver of the day that is determined by the game was Iggy Combo of the Alfa Romeo team. As there you saw there, Monster Blue finishing in 1st place, grabbing the trophy and the win for this Sao Paulo Grand Prix race. So I'll just go through all of the finishers. So we have Monster Blue 909 in the Haas P1, Thibble Boy 7 P2, LGE Kingsholm 94 P3, Harass P4, Iggy Combo P5, Dark Stomper P6, BKS P7, Flea P8, H. Bosworth P9, Lewis F1702 P10, Vittich P11, Boosted P12, Phoenix P13, Ryan Van Doom. So this will be the start of all the individuals who did not finish. So Ryan Van Doom in P14, Carl Vanderberg in P15, Yomio in P16, FRL Arise P17, Mr. Basil P18, and Liam S in P19 to round out the field. How did you like that race, Jason?
Saucy. Just one word. Saucy. I can't believe how close both these days are. Genuinely. Cannot believe how close. It's just... the pace difference between these 2 days is next to none. It'll be interesting to see whenever, the Monday guys race on a track that the Tuesday guys have done, or vice versa, to see what even the pace difference is between those guys, because these guys seem pretty quick as well. So it's going to be an interesting season, I think, so far. To going ahead. I could not have predicted the top 10, to be honest. It's a lot different than what I was expecting. A couple of the faster boys I was expecting to be up there. I suppose Dark Stomper, he managed P6. I was expecting Phoenix to be higher. I think he's just had a couple of incidents and it's held him up. But yeah, definitely going to be an exciting race going forward, or an exciting season going forward.
Yeah, it's interesting. So just looking at the grid, so Monster Blue finished P1. He actually started P1. Thibble Boy finished P2. He started P3. Kingsholm started P2, finished P3. Harass started P5, finished P4. And then 5, 6, 7, and 8 place finishers. Huge jumps from where they started.
Yeah, a couple of big gainers there. Iggy, one of note, P15 to P5. It's up 10 positions. Phenomenal drive from him. Even the likes of Boosted started P19 after that. error in qualifying he made. Managed to make his way up to P12, so a lot of hope for a lot of these guys. And then Vidic even, P11 from P17, with the one-stop strategy under the hards. I think the penalties caught him out today. Definitely a lot of those guys in the top 10 I would be keeping an eye on going forward, because I think it's anyone's game at the minute. Let's say that.
Yep, and it's interesting because I'm still on this screen that is showing.
I was going to say, I think the lobby's managed to glitch itself. So, as always with F1, we love glitch lobbies. We live for the glitch lobbies. But we'll be back on Thursday. I'm not sure who it will be doing the commentary on Thursday for our new league day on Thursday. Formula 4, I believe we've called it. It's a bit different, bit of a different format. We've got your generic drivers' championship. We've got sprint races involved with every week, and we've got the pods championship. Where basically, I suppose we'll explain in more detail on the day, but there's 4 different pods. Each of the drivers have been sort of matched up with drivers similar to their ability. They'll explain more on the day, I suppose, is what I'm saying. But please stay tuned for that. And I suppose what I should say is, Ken, this has been an absolute pleasure. It was great to watch. Please remember to like. Please remember to subscribe. Watch, share with your friends. Tell them all about my lovely voice and commentary and how I'm so funny. And yeah. But Cam, it's been an absolute pleasure as always, bud.
Yes, sir. So we would like to thank you guys for watching this LGE coverage of LFR Tuesday Limitless 2 Racing. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we will see you for our coverage Thursday, where the race will be taking place at Austria for the new format of our Thursday Formula 4 League racing. We will see you all later. Take care. Have a good night.
Bye!